Well, hello. Welcome to the Midweek Meditation. I'm Bob Zanicki, the pastor of the First Presbyterian Church in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And it is Thursday, May 13th, 2021. And it is a beautiful day out. Just wonderfully beautiful, just gorgeous. And so I hope some of you, or most of you, are able to maybe sit out on a porch or take a little walk or stroll, what have you, on this beautiful day. I'm always reminded of this particular text, among others, but this one especially. This is a day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And I, from my own personal part, I will be glad and rejoice in it. So I hope you're doing the same. Well, an hour or so back, I just had lunch with a friend of mine, a community friend I've known since, almost from the time I arrived here 33 plus years ago, and had a wonderful time, wonderful visit. He's always, he's a good friend to sit with and talk and enjoy lunch together. So then I walked back to work on saying hello to you. So it was good to be with this particular friend. In fact, as I think about it, earlier today I was up at the Abide Coffee Shop, which has great coffee, and I ran into several friends and just had a few moments with each of them about how they're doing and what's happening in their lives, what have you. And that was nice too. I am blessed with so many friends, so many of them within the church and so many within the community. And I guess I've been recently thinking about this because of, this past year plus with the coronavirus, we have not been able to reach out and to be with friends that much. Now, we could certainly do it through live streaming and what have you, through the Zoom and such, but in terms of in-person, face-to-face, that hasn't been happening these last umpteen months. But as I'm reading, as I'm hearing, things are getting better, and there are going to be less and less restrictions, so that we're going to have more opportunities to get together as friends, as a congregation, but to get together and be with each other and be able to talk, laugh, share stories, maybe even cry a little bit depending on what the topic is. But having friends is extremely important. It's good for your mental, physical, spiritual health to have people that you can rely on and to call them friends. So you may have guessed by now, if you were thinking about it, I wonder what he's going to talk about on Sunday. Well, it turns out I'm going to talk about friendship. And I've called it, the sermon is Among Friends. And I just have several recent anecdotes or stories to quickly share with you about some of my experiences with renewed friendship, or at least being able to get together with people. Not that we were that far away from each other, except we weren't together, even though maybe we only lived a few blocks away or a few miles away. And now we can have more of that as time is progressing. So I thought I'd share with you just a few texts. A couple of them I'll be sharing on Sunday. One great friendship from the Bible, and there are many, but one great friendship from the Bible is the friendship between David, the great King David, and Jonathan. And so I thought I'd read just a few verses about that. 1 Samuel chapter 18, the first verse. When he, David, had finished speaking to Saul was the king at that time, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took David that day, and would not let him return to his father's house. Then Jonathan made a covenant with David, because he loved him as his own soul. A great friendship, biblical friendship there. And a lot of intrigue, if you know what's going on between Saul and David as time went on. And here we have Jonathan in the throes of it, mixing with family devotion with devotion to friendship. Also, John 15:15, Jesus is speaking, "No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends. For all that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you." Jesus says, hey, I am calling you friends. You are my friends. There's a lot going on with that phrase itself, that sentence, in terms of when one thinks of the divine and the human, and how one is a friend with God or of God. And Christianity has been very strong in seeing that there is a relationship, the relationality to God, the creator of all that is and will ever be, this powerful being, this powerful God, is also a friend. So there's an intimacy introduced here, not just in terms of, well, you need to pay attention, you need to behave, you have to do what's right, because the father or mother is, you got to do what's right, or there'll be consequences, what have you. But also there's this part of our thinking within our faith tradition that this God also is a friend. And that adds another dimension to our conception of what God is like. And then we read further in terms of what I've said to you before about the Johannine community, referring to the John, the grouping that is understood to have been a part of the particular community that we have these writings of the Gospel of John and the first, second, third writings of John in the New Testament, that they are related. Again, as one reads them, even if you're not even necessarily needing to read from the Greek, but you sense similarities of interest and phraseology. So in terms of 3 John, verse 15, this is, "Peace be to you. The friends greet you. Greet the friends, every one of them." Simple, straightforward. But nevertheless, it brought up this idea of friends. So, think about the friendships that you've had over the years. I can think of some that I've had from back when I was a teenager, and now to the ones I have today, and how certain ones of those were extremely special to me, and for just who I am, or how they influenced my life. So you think about that. Think about who they are. In fact, if I see you on Sunday, I'd really like to hear maybe just a brief story about one or two of those friends of yours that did have an impact, made an impact on your life in some particular way. I could easily bring up a couple for me. So we'll talk about friendships, and we'll be grateful for our friends, and especially be grateful for Jesus Christ, who has said, "I no longer call you servants, but I call you friends." And there's something deep, deep seated there for us to consider in terms of how we can have this relationship with God. Well, God bless you, my friends, and hope to see you Sunday, or hopefully you'll see me along with others through the live streaming. And we'll talk sometime soon. Maybe we can get together and have coffee. Let me know. I'd love to have coffee with you. It doesn't have to be coffee, tea, lattes, brevets, whatever, okay? But then we can get together and visit. Take care. Bye-bye.